All right, hey, welcome back, hitchhikers. We're traveling along the digital highway on this side of the DC universe, and we're pulling up again to a rest stop. And this time, we're going to break down Stargirl episode 10. We're this close to the end of the journey, but it's getting better and better with each ride. All right, so this one is Brainwave Jr. and Brainwave Daddy's awake, and this is really excellent. So, someone told me, hey, listen, if all you're gonna do is just break down the show, I mean, what's interesting about your particular breakdown? And I like to say that, well, I like to think it's how I break it down, and it's like a little bit of the scoop along the way. So first of all, with our cold opening, is 2 years ago, and it's when Pat met Barbara. And first of all, what I noticed that people haven't noticed the marquee sign that says Strange Adventures, which was an actual old DC series, a compilation series, Strange Adventures, where we also had rumored a couple of months ago that Strange Adventures was going to be a new HBO Max series. So we haven't heard much about that, maybe because it's a pandemic or whatever, but hopefully it's still happening. But so that's our first little nugget or our first little treat as we move into that diner where that waitress, the fantastic waitress, is trying to help Pat and Barbara decide, hey, should we split the banana split or what? It's a cute little opening about how they met, where Pat was hunting down the ISA and Barbara was, selling her mom's house and everything. And so they have this cute little opening, which is great because it leads right into the end of last week's episode, where Barbara's caught Pat and Courtney in the basement with the staff floating in the air and everything. So Barbara, of course, freaks out, as any mom should. Cut over to the explanations, and mom is like, are you trying to tell me you think your dad is Starman? Now she could completely deny it, which in a way she is doing, but Courtney's still not having it and everything. And Pat is trying to explain it, but he really has no explanation. And Barbara says, just tell me one thing. When you and Courtney was in that car accident, was that a lie? And he has no choice but to say, yeah, and she says, get out. Now, I gotta tell you, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, it's not good, so all Pat can do is just sheepishly walk away. But what I did like was Mike. I did like how Mike comes downstairs and going, hey, Barbara seems to be pretty upset. And Pat, tried to tell him, and he's like, are we moving? Oh, you guys breaking up? He's like, I'm gonna just spend the night in the garage and we'll take it from there. And he did what you would hope that your son would do. He says, I'm coming with you. He doesn't want the love, and no, you don't have to go there and everything, but I'm coming with you. And as a dad, I thought that was really nice. Courtney doesn't know what to do, because Barbara tells her to go to her room. And for once, she does that, even though the staff is like, hey, come on. You know what I mean? We got to get these guys. And, so Courtney says no and everything. And so it causes the sentient staff to act on its own, which, some people have commented that this is weird. I mean, like, is the staff, like, alive? Is it Starman? Is it the original Starman Ted Knight? What's going on? And everything. But so the staff, realizes that it's got to go after Brainwave because he's awake. So Brainwave is then approached by Jordan Icicle, who's like, look, I'm glad you're awake. We gotta do this. We're this close to the plan, and all we need is your power. And when when the sun comes in, Junior comes, well, he doesn't go in, but he sees that, that they're connecting. He comes in right after the staff does. So the staff comes in on its own without Courtney and tries to attack Brainwave and Icicle, and they both use their powers to stop it. In that essence, it's just a staff. So while Brainwave freezes it, freezes it, Icicle freezes it for real. And so he's like, "Is that Starman's staff?" And it's like, "Oh yeah." So they got a trophy that they want to take back to the Dragon King. So as they leave, Junior decides to hide, but then I could swear by the actions of the actor, the father, that he had heard or sensed him, because remember, he had lost his memory and everything. But then he goes on and stuff. So, Junior's able, like to get away and stuff. Now, despite all of this happening, because, Brainwave's going to get his memories back, Courtney, like gets up and she tries to go to, first she confronts Barbara, who tells her that we're leaving. Then she goes to Pat's pit stop and you try to say, we got to do something. Pat's like, I got to stop Barbara. I got to go. That's my priority. I got to go. She's going into the lion's den. Now, Mike was there to at least hear something, but he doesn't really know what he heard, so he confronts Courtney, and she doesn't tell him because she doesn't know what to say. And he's like, don't worry about it. You're not my sister anyway, so forget about it. And that was a little heartbreaking, man. It's kind of like, I understand superheroes have to keep their secrets, but this is the kind of conflict that is good conflict. Superheroes always are confronted about their dual identities, and in this case, this was really good. But Courtney feels all on her own, and this time, Junior, confronts her, and she's like, what do you want? And he's like, I got so much to tell you, because he knows she's good, but he just gives her like a full on mind blast of what's happening and everything that freaks her out a little bit, and like he lets her know that Icicle killed Starman's sister, who was Mary, who was his mother. So like Mary is married, the girl of 1,000 gimmicks, and she's from the comics. She was Sylvester's sister and everything like that. She didn't really have any powers. She just had 1,000 gimmicks. But like I liked how Brainwave was saying how she affected him. She was slowly convincing him, and everything like that. And she tried to stop him from doing a bank robbery, which is what they used to do back in the old days, and everything. So I love how the commentary on the old way of writing is often brought up in this show. But of course, Courtney thinks Starman's her dad, so she's like, "You're my cousin! Oh my god!" She gives him this big hug. He's like, "Okay, whatever. Okay, we'll talk about that later." And then so she decides to like take him to the gang. So she tells the gang, that she wants to help him, and they're all like, "How could you just expose us like that?" The impetuous Courtney, and everything, and they all don't like him. They don't like Brainwave and everything, and especially our man Rick, who is full of hate and stuff. So he gets up, he's like, "Come on, man!" It's like, "Dude, back off me." Oh yeah, what you gonna do and stuff, and then he blast him across the room and stuff, and they like, "Hey, just ignore us, just like you usually do. We're not doing anything." That's cute. So and aside, of course, well, Yolanda says it best. We'll help you because you're only gonna do it anyway. So you know what I mean. So it's suit up time, and the young JSA suits up. Beth knows the code, remember, and everything, and they think that Cindy's gone, so they go into the basement and everything, and she's like, "Been here before." Chuck, of course, he can't communicate with her when they're down there and everything, and so Courtney decides to split up. Yolanda's like, you never say split up. Well, you need to split up and stuff. So she doesn't want Courtney to go with Henry by herself. So so it's Courtney, Yolanda, and Henry leaving, Rick and Beth on their own. So, and that leads Rick to confront Solomon Grundy for the first time. This is the man, the creature who killed his parents. He saw it on the goggles. So he's like, of course, with his rage, I want to take this guy out. And he tried to take down the big steel door. Now, what was good about that, even though he has this super strength and stuff, remember, Grundy probably banging on that door all the time. So it's more than just a big steel door. So he can't actually bust it open. But while that's going on, Courtney, Yolanda, and Henry confront the Dragon King. And so as they're sneaking into the Dragon's Lair, get it, Dragon's Lair, Knights, Cindy sees them. She said, "Look, Daddy, there she is. Let me out, let me out, let me get her." So, that was cool. She got her little tiny moment in there and everything. But this is now big, big fight, and this actually the stunt work was fantastic. It's always been fantastic. A lot of people like to spit on the stunt work in the show and everything, but it was really good. But they see the staff, or Yolanda sees the staff, and rescues the staff. It's like the staff's chained up. Brainwave has already been, his mind has already been, he remember who he is, so they come in a little bit too late. And Courtney takes on the Dragon King with a regular staff and everything, just also to show us that Courtney, as a gymnast, fighter, stunt girl, whatever, she can move pretty much without the staff, but she can move 10 times better with it. So in fighting the Dragon King, who also has moves of his own, she manages to unmask him. And that was the funny shot from way back in the trailer that we saw, that we all knew what the Dragon King looked like, but we finally got the mask taken off. And so he had that big lizard face, and both Courtney and Yolanda, as little girls, freak out and everything. That was really good. So the three of them are formidable, taking on everybody and stuff. They got the staff and everything, and but Brainwave is awake. So now that he's coming after them, it's best to run. So they run because they got the staff, So they run, team up with the other two, because Rick couldn't get the door open. So they all try to escape, but Brainwave stops them. So it's Brainwave versus Brainwave Jr. and everything, and Junior shows that he's a good guy, and he knows this is the end for him, especially after his father reveals that it wasn't Jordan who killed your mom, it was me, and everything, and and then he done what we didn't think would happen. Even though it's near the end of the series, you got to remember, this is all shot at once. Like, they didn't know they would get a season 2 and everything. So when he collapses the roof onto Henry, I believe Henry's dead. They could make it at the last minute that he didn't die, but according to them, when they made the series, I think he's dead. I mean, I think they won't go back to it this season, but they could end up cheating it as they do in comics, and season 2 Henry could come back because it could be revealed that either Dragon King reanimated him or he wasn't killed in that crash and stuff. I skipped over a lot of things there, such as Barbara and Pat teaming up against the Norwegian parents who come in. Barbara investigating, looking for Starman, and finally calling Sam Curtis, who is Courtney's dad. Say, "I got to tell you about your daughter Courtney," and everything. So we don't know what happens there, but she records the conversation and she takes it to their favorite spot, the restaurant, and they hear that not only does Jordan have an interest in Barbara, as we all knew, but that there's a big plan that is about to take place. So they're like, well, what is this plan? So Barbara is now seemingly going to be on with the plan and everything, and maybe even putting herself into danger, hoping that Jordan is still stupid enough to not realize all these people. I should know you, but I don't and everything. So that would be really good and interesting to see what happens next week. So basically, that's it. Ended on that. I'm pretty sure that Brainwave would have let the Justice Society go. And everything. And next week is going to be titled The Shining Knight. So hopefully now we will discover not only what happened to the Shining Knight and why he lost his memory, but we might also get a hint at to 7 Soldiers of Victory. I can't wait for that. hopefully too, in discovering that the Shining Knight, something happened to the Shining Knight, we might also discover what happened to time, because they're still not like alluding to or letting us know why everybody who was supposed to be around in the 40s are still the same age as they are now in the millennium, in the noughties, new millennium, whatever the year is supposed to be right now. So that's it for Stargirl episode 10. All action, all out. I'm gonna hate it when this is done and everything, but I'm going to love where it goes and everything. So until the next time, it's time to get back in the truck, get back down the highway, and get down the DC universe. And until then, keep it rolling.